Good morning, children. In the previous class, we had read about railways. Today, in this session, we will read about railways, waterways, and about communication. So, let us first read about airways. An aeroplane is the fastest means of transport. Major cities and towns of India are connected by air. Aeroplanes transport people and goods, especially perishable goods such as fresh fruits, flowers, and vegetables, to far off places. Mail from big cities is carried by aeroplanes. That is why letters from faraway places reach quickly. So, children, as we all know, that an aeroplane is the fastest means of transport, and major cities and towns of India have airports. So they all are connected by air. Now, aeroplanes not only carry passengers or people, but they also carry goods, especially perishable goods such as fresh fruits, flowers, and vegetables, to far off places. Now, children, what are perishable goods? These are those type of things that get spoiled very fast. So things like fruits, flowers, vegetables, all these are perishable goods because these things get spoiled very fast. Also, children, mails from the big cities are carried by the aeroplanes. That is why letters from very far off places reach us very quickly. Now, a helicopter is a very useful means of air transport, especially in areas that are very difficult to reach. They are used to drop food and medicine during floods, droughts, famines, earthquakes, epidemics, and wars. They are also used to rescue people during natural disasters. So, children, helicopter is also a means of air transport, and it is very useful because it can be used in those areas that are difficult to reach. Now, helicopters are used to drop food and medicine during any kind of natural disaster like during floods, droughts, famines, earthquake, epidemic, and wars. And lastly, children, helicopters are also used to rescue people. Rescue means to save people during any kind of natural disasters. Now, next we will study about waterways. The water transport is one of the oldest and cheapest means of transport in India. The waterways are of two types, the inland waterways and the seaways. The inland water bodies are rivers, canals, and backwaters. Boats and steamers are used as means of transport on the rivers. Large ships take people and goods from one port to another by sea. So, children, water transport is one of the oldest and cheapest means of transport in India. Now, waterways are of two types, inland waterways and the seaways. Now, inland water bodies are rivers, canals, and backwaters. So, those water bodies that are not very large and are found within the cities are the inland water bodies like ponds, rivers, lakes, etc. And boats and steamers are used as a means of transport in the inland waterways. Lastly, large ships that take people and goods from one port to another port by sea is known as seaways. Now, India has a long coastline. It has 12 major and 185 minor seaports. Mumbai is the largest seaport of India. About 90% of the sea-borne trade is handled by the major seaports. They can handle passenger ships, cargo ships, and mineral oil tankers. So, children, India has a very long coastline. It has 12 major and 185 minor or small seaports. Now, Mumbai is the largest seaport of India. So, which is the largest seaport of India? The answer will be Mumbai. Now, about 90% of the sea-borne trade or trade through sea is handled by the major seaports, and they can handle passenger ships, cargo ships, as well as mineral oil tankers. Now, children, cargo ships basically they carry cargo or goods. Mineral oil tankers they carry oil. So, this was about waterways. Now, let us study about what is communication. Sharing our thoughts, ideas, and feelings or exchange of information with people is called communication. There are many ways of sending messages. We can send a letter to a friend, talk over a phone, or send an email. In ancient times, messages were sent through pigeons or horse riders. So, children, what is communication? Communication is when we share our thoughts, ideas, and feelings, or when we exchange information with people. This is known as communication. Now, there are many ways of sending messages. We can send a letter to our friend, or we can talk over phone call, or we can send an email. So, these are some ways by which we can communicate with our friends and relatives. Now, in ancient times, messages were sent through pigeons and horse riders. So, pigeons and horse riders used to send messages from one place to another. But in modern age, the means of communication are emails, radio, television, telephone, fax machine, newspapers, magazines, etc. So, children, in modern age, in modern times, the means of communication are emails, radio, television, telephone, fax machine, newspaper, magazines. So, these are some ways of communicating with one another. Now, children, regarding the means of communication, that is postal system, then internet, fax, regarding these things, we are going to read in the next video. So, children, please revise the portion that we have done today, and I will see you in the next class. Thank you, children.